Just going to point out that over the last few days, there have been some truly insane headlines that if you haven't already canceled some of your subscriptions to these outlets, you absolutely should. Let's start with this banger. The New York Times posted this on their front page, which if you're not that familiar with like American media, the New York Times is like the gold standard of media. The New York Times is like what all the elites read and what everybody base their shit off of. Here's them being all surviving Gaza. Surviving Gaza? From who? Surviving Gaza from who? Who did it? Who's doing it? You guys notice how they're always talking about it in the passive voice. Absolute garbage shit. It reminded me of this tweet, right? Like the language of dehumanization, and this is how all of Western media operates. Children. But then when it's Palestinian, it's people under 18. It's civilians in the Israeli regime. And then it's collateral damage, you know what I'm saying? Women and children. Human shields. Hostages. Prisoners. Killed. Died. Attacks. Well, there were some explosions. I am not kidding. I am actually not kidding when I say this was a real headline from the Washington Post. Now, you guys remember a couple weeks ago, I told you 200,000 people canceling their Washington Post subscriptions because they didn't endorse Kamala Harris. I'm thinking we're going to need to get that number a lot higher. Now, I already don't subscribe to them, but if you do still subscribe to the Washington Post, now would be a good time to cancel your subscription. This is fucking insane. The International Criminal Court is not the venue to hold the Israeli regime accountable. Excuse me, bitch. This is genuinely deranged. The ICC needed to help resolve war crimes in Russia, Sudan, Myanmar. Targeting the Israeli regime makes it harder. How come, you know how we were just talking about the way they change language to make it make sense for them and be convenient for their narrative? It's all holding accountable to the other countries. Then when it's the Israeli regime, even though they're the ones doing the genocide, they're like targeting. This is ridiculous. If you read the article, all it is saying all the reasons why the ICC is really meant to like hold like the bad countries that we don't like and the brown countries accountable. Not anybody in the West or like the white countries, except for Russia. There is always a Russia exception because our country and the West is generally deranged when it comes to Russia. Russia's the main white exception because they're commie red, you know. Then we have this banger. The UN's anti-Israel genocide purge. No, because this woman was literally saying that it wasn't genocide, when we all know it is. It's met every requirement. Everybody who isn't lying acknowledges that it is. So at this late date, if you're not, you should be fired. Bye. Guys, these were just the headlines in the last couple of days. This is why people don't know shit, okay? This is why people don't know shit, because all we get in Western media is ridiculous, over-the-top lies, propaganda, and whitewashing of genocide.